And look who's here, the Super Bowl himself. His name is Mike Lee. Every time this guy recommends a stock and says it's going to the moon, he's done very well indeed. So tell me about, you've got three today. NVIDIA, already at a record high, going higher?
Yes. Oh, yes. Yeah. So Stuart, the market is looking at the AI infrastructure build out the way compared relative to the 1990s and the infrastructure build out. And so if we remember this internet bubble, a lot of that had to do with the fact that we were able to build an infrastructure to handle data packets for the internet by the late 90s. And people thought that infrastructure build out was going to continue on forever. So what's priced into a lot of these chip stocks right now is that we're about a year to 2 years away from having an infrastructure where you're only going to need 3 to 5% growth year over year, not the 40, 50, 60% we've been seeing. That's 5 years away. That's not 18 months away. And so the growth rates for a lot of these stocks, 15 to 18 months out, collapse according to Wall Street estimates. That's completely wrong. It's going to go on for a long time. NVIDIA is going to be the primary beneficiary of this. I mean, just look at Google. Going to spend $85 billion in capital expenditures over the next year. The bulk of that is going to go to GPUs, not just NVIDIA. They spend $10 billion a year from one part from Broadcom, but AMD and Marvel, those stocks are trading at ridiculous discounts. There's no reason for them to be there. NVIDIA is going to have an unbelievable quarter, especially because they're going to be able to sell their old chips to China. All these stocks should be much, much higher.
Pick up on this. Marvell, $73 a share now. Where's it going?
I think it's an easy double over the next year.
Double over the next year. AMD, Advanced Micro Devices.
Yeah, I think that's got about 50% upside. This stock has really moved a ton this year. Down in this tariff stuff, it was close to $100. Marvell has gone from roughly 50 to 70. This AMD's up a bunch, especially over the last month or so. I think the market's starting to get wind of this. You probably need another earnings quarter or two. And I think all these companies are going to re-rate, which means a massive price to earnings multiple expansion. And then you're going to get married to a much higher growth rate over the next 12, 24 months. We are in a golden age of investing, especially when it comes to artificial intelligence.
I have viewers who line up for me to tell them when you're on the show next. You're doing well, son. Hope you're making a lot of money. I hope you are. Thanks very much, Mike.
All right, I hope you're all doing great today. This past week, talked about the Financial Times reporting that at least $1 billion of NVIDIA B200s have been smuggled into China, evading export controls. NVIDIA responded to the report in a statement to CNBC saying, quote, trying to cobble together data centers from smuggled products is a losing proposition, both technically and economically. Data centers require service and support, which we provide only to authorized NVIDIA products. And then Reuters reported that there is booming demand in China for repair services of NVIDIA's H100 chips, which are currently prohibited from being sold in China. Reuters says there are about a dozen companies in China offering such repair services, with one owner saying that business has been good with that particular business repairing about 500 NVIDIA chips per month. It's important to remember that NVIDIA is not the one to blame in this situation. NVIDIA sells their product to authorized customers, and NVIDIA has no control over what those companies do with the product once it is in their possession. Additionally, I think the smuggling of NVIDIA chips into China shows that the strategy of containment has been largely ineffective. With this in mind, I wonder if we will eventually see the US allow something better than the H20 to be sold into China. That way, Chinese companies would feel less of an urgency to obtain stronger chips through backdoor methods. Looking ahead, we have more hyperscaler earnings this week with Microsoft and Meta on Wednesday and Amazon on Thursday. I fully expect Meta to increase their CapEx guidance, given the company's recent announcements of plans to build multiple multi-gigawatt clusters and spend hundreds of billions of dollars on compute build-out in the coming years. I think Microsoft and Amazon are likely to report strong CapEx guidance, as well given the strong AI demand and rising competition that we're seeing. I also think we will hear about Microsoft spending more on CapEx in fiscal 2025 than what people are expecting. I keep seeing financial news outlets list Microsoft's CapEx guide for fiscal 2025 as $80 billion. But on Microsoft's last earnings call, the CFO said CapEx would increase sequentially in the quarter, which would bring total fiscal 2025 CapEx up to at least $85.5 billion on the very low end of the range, which is more than $80 billion I see being thrown around everywhere. Anyway, I expect Meta to report strong CapEx guidance. I think Microsoft will report having spent more on CapEx during the quarter than what market participants are expecting. And I think Amazon is likely to report strong CapEx guidance, as well given both rising demand and competition. As a reminder, Amazon CEO told us last quarter that as soon as new AI capacity is put in, it gets consumed. Also this past week, we got the unveil of the White House AI Action Plan. The plan aims to reduce AI regulations, speed up permitting for AI infrastructure, such as data centers and chip fabrication, clarification. And here's what really stood out to me. The US government will actively work to export American full-stack AI technology packages around the world to the United States allies. This, of course, would include NVIDIA's products, and I think we're likely to hear about more sovereign AI deals in the future as a result of this initiative, which is positive for NVIDIA. Many high-profile CEOs spoke at the AI summit, including Jensen Huang and Lisa Su. And guess who else spoke at the summit? The CEO of MP Materials. I posted a video about MP Materials recently, and I seriously encourage you to watch that video. I am very bullish on the long-term future of MP Materials, and I do not think investors are bullish enough on the company. I know that sounds crazy given the recent run-up in MP stock, but it's true. This company's product will be central to the oncoming wave of physical AI. I'm viewing MP stock as an investment to be held for at least the next 5 to 10 years, and I think there's a lot of upside ahead. I seriously encourage you to watch that video in its entirety so that you know what's going on, because this is big. Now back to NVIDIA. All roads lead back to NVIDIA, and I honestly think we're still in the early stages of AI. Inference demand has exploded and AI agents are just now starting to go mainstream. Just as we saw a surge in compute demand with the explosion of inference, I think we will see another surge in compute demand as AI agents go mainstream. I continue to be bullish on the long-term future of NVIDIA, and I think we will see multiple trillions added to NVIDIA's market cap over the next 5 years. I expect 2026 to be another growth year for NVIDIA, and I think many market participants are finally starting to realize that. I also really like the setup for NVIDIA in the second half of this year, and I think NVIDIA will report very strong Q3 and Q4 results given the production ramp of Blackwell and a launch of Blackwell Ultra. Blackwell Ultra has launched and should really start a ramp in August and September. And then we have Vera Rubin coming up in 2026, with the Vera CPU being NVIDIA's first custom CPU and a single Kyber rack being able to hold 576 Rubin GPUs, 8 times as many as the current Blackwell systems. We have a clear data center product roadmap stretching into 2028. NVIDIA's moat across the entire stack remains intact, stretching across both hardware and software. NVIDIA's software offerings in CUDA are a massive benefit for maintaining the company's moat. If developers build on CUDA, they want to remain on CUDA, and that is massively beneficial to NVIDIA. And NVIDIA is providing performance upgrades that directly increase their customers' AI revenues so substantially that clients have no choice but to continue purchasing NVIDIA's latest products in large quantities. NVIDIA will play a crucial role in the future of quantum computing, as they are working with just about everyone in the quantum industry right now on NVIDIA's CUDA-Q platform. NVIDIA is really just starting to bring AI to the world's enterprise IT, which Jensen believes is an opportunity worth hundreds of billions of dollars. Inference demand has exploded and AI agents are really just starting to go mainstream. And Jensen believes the world's computing capex will reach $1 trillion annually by 2030. All things considered, I think NVIDIA will be worth substantially more in the years ahead than it is today, and I continue to be bullish on the long-term future of this company. At least that's my view of the situation. Remember to stay calm in this market. Remember to maintain a long-term perspective, and do not make any hasty or irrational decisions. With all of that being said, I hope you all have a great rest of the day, and I'm curious to hear your thoughts about NVIDIA in the comments below. Please leave a like on this video so more people will see it. And while you're down there, please consider subscribing. It's free, and you can always change your mind. Thanks for watching, and hopefully I'll see you in the next video.